Now welcome back. There's some breaking news to begin this bulletin again. Now this is about the separatists in Australia. Now there's a first victory against Khalistanis in Australia. Now Khalistan Referendum has cancelled for the first time after Indian government mounts pressure. Now this is the big breaking news that's coming in from Australia. This is about a referendum that is being cancelled with respect to Khalistan. This is a big development because remember this is the first victory against Khalistanis in Australia. Several stray incidents are being reported from Australia where there is disfigurement on walls and several other stray incidents taken up by alleged Khalistanis against India there. To give us more details about this, I'm being joined by my colleague Siddhant Mishra on the phone line. Siddhant, if you could elaborate for our viewers how this victory against the separatists is important.
These countries have also realized the potential threat which comes along with such referendum events. And in fact, the countries like, it's a high time, the countries like Canada, England and Australia should impose blanket ban on such groups and such events. What decision has been taken by City Council in Sydney is something which is being appreciated in Australia because there were multiple letters which were written to the authorities explaining the threat which comes along with these referendum events and how these groups are trying to take mileage of these referendum events to spread fake propaganda and anti-India propaganda. India is a strategic partner of Australia. So, it was an issue there, but none of the other city councils could cancel it before, maybe like Melbourne or some other city councils in Australia. This time around, a very strong decision has been taken, the very right decision has been taken, where this referendum event, which was planned on 4th June under the Black Town Council in Sydney, has been cancelled. In fact, the statement has also been issued, and it says that council's decision is in no way endorsement of or criticism of any political position relating to the internal affairs of India or Pakistan, and must not be presented as support for any particular political position. So they have issued statement. They are saying that they are neutral, but they cannot allow such events to take place in their jurisdiction. This could also be seen as Australia acting on Indian government's appeal. If you remember, when Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, visited India in the month of March, at a prime ministerial level, the issue of the safety of Hindu temples in Australia were raised by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a Hyderabad house, and Indian side was assured that the Australian authorities are going to act against such groups, and there were multiple issues raised later through diplomatic channels also. And in fact, both sides are connected with regards to these cases of referendum or attacks on Indian temples. So it also could be seen as Australia acting on Indian government's request. And we all know that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be in Australia this month to attend Quad head of the state meeting. So maybe this is a gesture that Australia has shown that they will not let their land, their soil to be used by anti-India groups to spread fake propaganda.
Thank you, Siddhant. We are also being joined by Jitarth, who joins us live. He represents Australia today. Now, Jitarth, if you could give us more information about when this referendum was expected to happen and what was it expected to discuss?
See, like any other referendum by these Khalistani supporters, they just try to make it a point that Australian Sikhs are supporting their agenda. However, they try to coerce them through different means and bring them forward to wherever these referendum centers are. We have to understand what is going on here. there is a lot of money churning through these Khalistan propaganda events, and these people are trying to gain support from politicians, local politicians, the civil society in Australia or UK or USA, and they're trying to convert momentum or sentiment against India and its policies. So this is the whole agenda. Now, the AFP, Australian Federal Police, Department of Foreign Affairs, DFAT, and ASIO, the security agency in Australia, they all came together and they scrutinized what has happened in the last 4.5 months. I'm told by one of my sources that they are still looking into how the money is churning. The money laundering angle is also there, which they are looking at. And after a lot of consideration, these agencies collectively gave an advice to Blacktown Council that it was not in interest of their constituents to let this event happen. So this is one. Let me explain you that it is very important that these people are still capable of organizing it somewhere other than Blacktown's council. So council has withdrawn the permission of their booking, the place where they were supposed to do at the leisure center of council. They have withdrawn the booking. So in a way, it's a very technical way of canceling the event. However, we are given to understand that this advice by New South Wales Police is also applicable to different councils if they seek it. So there are some technicalities. I wouldn't go as far as that it's a kind of a gesture towards the visit of Indian Prime Minister Mr. Modi, who is coming on 23rd here in Australia. However, it's the start of Australian authorities understanding that this Khalistan propaganda or whole movement is creating some trouble for their own citizens here itself in Melbourne, be in Sydney, be in Brisbane, or in Adelaide. So that understanding is very important for them.
Well, Jitarth, considering that Australia has always maintained that these are stray incidents and at best be ignored, does this also seem like a tectonic shift from that position that the state is now actively involved in cancelling events like these?
I would like to agree with what you are saying, because this is the first time they are trying to investigate the institution which Sikh for Justice have created here in Australia. It's registered in Victoria. It's called Sikh for Justice Private Limited. So authorities are telling us we are also inquiring who are they connected with, where are they getting the money from. If there is any deal which they can pin on this organization and the people who have registered it, will be in a lot of trouble. Yes, there is a fair understanding, I suppose, on the backside of the things. A lot of information sharing has been done by Indian authorities, Canadian authorities, American authorities to Australia, that what has happened in past. And if Australian authorities can take some learning from that will be great outcome for at least Australian residents, that we will not be facing the same kind of terror which Canadian citizens probably have faced. So I was talking to one of the senior officers in security agency, and she was telling me that we probably didn't have any understanding of this issue a few months back. Now we are trying to put our brains into how deep it can go if we let it happen. So yes, there is much more shift in approach by authorities, what we saw in January, and now in May, they are at least inclined to cancel these events, even though they are on some grounds which they should have called it differently, but it's entirely up to them how they want to portray in front of their residents.
Well, Jitarth Jai Bharadwaj there, thank you for your time. And with that, It's time to move on into a short break, but do stay tuned to CNN News 18 where news and updates will continue. Thank you for watching.